Welcome. This is Intuitive Sherry Lynn. As part of the series I'm doing on ways to relieve your anxiety, I wanted to talk about this approach, which is something I learned from Charlie Goldsmith, the wonderful healer. The premise is to not run from it. And it's a challenge because mostly we want to run from things that are uncomfortable. We want it to go away. And we can get temporary relief by distracting ourselves with food or alcohol or drugs or any habit that gives temporary escape from the problem. And I've certainly done my share, so there's no judgment, and I have struggled with anxiety a lot. But this approach is the one that I have found the most relief from, and it's shifting perspective from escaping from how bad it feels to not running and sitting with it. And I know it's a tough one. It was for me, but if you could be open to it and try it and see, just see how it feels. So here's how it works. If you are aware that anxiety is arising, and you're able to find a quiet moment. If you're at work, you might want to go to the restroom or take a break. But if not, you can do it in your chair. And this is being mindful and scanning the body. If you can, get a sense of where the anxiety is in your body. Some people have it in a specific area, like the neck carries the stress, or the shoulders, or the stomach, or it may be everywhere, or you may not be able to locate it. I know when I'm stressed, it's hard to know things right away. So if you can't locate it, you want to do this technique I'm going to explain on your heart chakra. And so you locate where the anxiety is coming from. If not, go to your heart and you give it attention. You're giving it love. There's no other way to say it, but put your focus on it. And the intention behind it is, I'm no longer running from it. I'm giving it the love and attention that it is seeking. It's longing for. And so you just breathe and feel it and love it and focus on it and watch what happens. It may relocate. It may go to another part of your body. You may feel little jiggles and tingles and movement. That's the energy moving to another area. If it goes to another area, Charlie says chase it. I say follow it and allow it to go to the other area, and then give that your love and attention. And it's just really simple. You just focus on it and put your attention on it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything else. And it may move to another area, or it may completely dissolve. And that's when you know it's time to stop. You can stop at any time. So that's really the technique. Behind the scenes, this is what's happening and why this is so effective. We are processing unprocessed emotions when we are sitting with them and giving them our love and attention. What happens is, say in childhood, we had an experience, someone was bothering us on the playground at recess, or bullying us or pushing us, and it was very upsetting, as an example. Then we go home and there's no one to tell, or people are busy and you want to talk about it, but there isn't the opportunity for whatever reason. So that energy of that experience gets stored in our body, and it's not processed. It's stuck in there. So when we go about our life and someone new bullies us or pushes our buttons and we get triggered, it's happening because that stuff is still stuck in there and is wanting to be addressed. So what we're doing with this technique is we're giving it the love and attention that it needed. And that's really it. We are processing unprocessed emotions. And so in the past, if we got triggered and we didn't want to deal with it, which is understandable, we're basically saying to the emotion, no, go away. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to hear what you have to say or what you've experienced. And you're rejecting it. And all that any emotion really needs and wants is to be felt. So by sitting and recognizing where it is in our body, we're giving it the opportunity to be felt. And it doesn't take a lot of time, actually. It's just saying, oh, they're listening to me. They're giving me the love and attention that I needed. And it gets processed. It dissolves back into the nothingness from which it came. And that's what we're doing. If you feel the need to say something, which is not required, here's a little more advanced approach and something that I personally like to do. I notice where the anxiety is. And it's, for me, often it's in my stomach. And wherever it is, I say this in my mind or out loud. And even if you don't say any of this, which you don't need to, I want you to understand what's behind it and why it works. So I feel it, and I breathe and breathe and breathe, and I welcome it. I invite it in. I acknowledge it. This is different than running from it and trying to escape from it and finding things to distract so you don't have to feel it. I welcome you. I invite you. I honor you, my emotion. Isn't that pretty? I hear you. I love you. And sometimes I do the Ho'oponopono, Hawaiian prayer for healing, which is 4 parts. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. And then I feel complete, and I actually say to myself, my intention in sitting with you is to process any unprocessed emotions and release them. So we're declaring that to the universe. And that's it. And the more you do this, the less you'll be triggered by someone who is simulating the original core emotional root problem. And just as a summary, keep it simple. You don't have to say any of the words that I mentioned in the advanced approach. That was just to let you understand what it is we're doing. And allow the emotion, feel it, love it, and release it. Bless it for what it brought you, which is this freedom now, to be free of it and no longer triggered. And what you'll find is that instances that used to really upset you will become less intense and less frequent. And so they just sort of shrink and decrease and decrease and decrease until that particular one, poof, is gone. and then we work on the next one. And so let me know in the comments below if you try it and how it feels, and if you have any questions about it, because it may be new for you. All my love. Thank you. God bless.